is how we roll down. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we rock.
Ah, it's gone? Oh! Oh, well, the whole f***ing hill covered it. That was weird. Get wrecked!
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Saint here with another Apex Legends video for you today. And what we're going to be talking about today is my beginners kind of general tips on how to get better at Apex Legends, and also kind of really just PC shooters in general. It's going to be a lot of setting changes, some keybinds and stuff like that, as well as just some tips to do in the game that can help you practice and get better. So first off, we're going to talk about sensitivity, or what you want to set your mouse to, or even your controller at. This kind of is a universal thing, but for the most part, you want to have a lower sensitivity. A lot of people think you want to have a high sense. Some people like high sensitivities so they can spin around really fast, but ultimately in the end, you're going to be more accurate almost 100% of the time with a slower sensitivity. I myself, I play at 800 DPI on my mouse. Sometimes I'll lower it down to 700 to maybe like 750, somewhere around in there, and then I play at a 2.4 in-game sensitivity, which is like 0.6 lower than the default. I think the default's 3.0, or it might be 5. I can't remember. It's a little bit lower in there, but the DPI is also a lot lower. A lot of the people I talk to generally leave all of their stuff default, which is a lot higher than this, and that's kind of not what you want to do. Now, when you first switch to a lower sensitivity, it's going to be weird. You're going to feel a little bit sluggish and almost like you can't move the mouse enough, but really all that is muscle memory. You need to train yourself to move not just your hand or your wrist, but your arm as well. I know it seems like a lot. I know it seems like, oh, it's just so much more work, but trust me when I tell you it's going to help you so much. Now, where I kind of got this idea from and where it's helped me out in the past is I started playing Counter-Strike way back. I actually started on PUBG and I was not good at all, and then I had a buddy of mine get me into Counter-Strike a little bit, and I started learning that, and I really wanted to get better at it, so I looked up what to do, and he said a lot of people play on really low sensitivities, and then you got to learn recoil patterns and stuff like that. But lowering my sensitivity was something that helped me in the most immediate way. So that's kind of the most important thing to me. I always mess around with it. I'm constantly changing it, just 0.2, 0.1 here and there, just to see if I can get a little bit more accuracy or just be a little bit better. But a lot of it is just lowering it down, getting used to moving your arm more, and muscle memory. And this is going to help you in other games, not just Apex Legends. It'll help you in Call of Duty, it'll help you in Counter-Strike, it'll help you in Fortnite. Fortnite's a very big one when it comes to look sensitivity as well, in my opinion, because you have to find the middle ground. You have to find something that's somewhat fast so you can build, like spam build as fast as you can and be able to build really quickly, but you also have to have something that's slow enough to where you can be as accurate as possible. So that it kind of transfers over into this game as well. You have to be able to move around really quickly, but also be able to hit your shots consistently center mass. A good way to practice this is to go into training on Apex and use the targets. You want to aim for the heads, and you're aiming to get that headshot sound, that critical 90 damage with the wingman, or the 36 I think it is with the R301, whatever it is, and you want to practice swapping as fast as you can. Go one head, the other head, and then switch up to the targets up top, even the moving target, and do that as fast as possible, and just work on that muscle memory. Change up the pattern as well as you're doing it, so you don't just memorize one pattern. And that's going to help you a lot. Moving on to the second thing is keybinds. Now this one's a little bit more short and concise because it's not Fortnite. In Fortnite, I would have like 16 different keybinds to show you guys, to tell you, hey, you should probably change things up because it's way easier and faster and just better this way. But we're not playing Fortnite anymore. We're playing Apex, so we don't have to worry about building. Yeah. So in this game, really all I did is I switched off the spot enemy key, which was F, and I moved that to V, and I moved V, which was melee, and I moved that to F. Now you could also move that over to your mouse buttons if you have those, which, by the way, I definitely recommend you having a mouse that has mouse buttons. It makes a lot of things a lot easier. But what I did is I moved my crouch button to my first thumb button on my mouse so I could slide really easily as quickly as possible, just to kind of help dodge a lot. And then also my front mouse button, or my front thumb button on my mouse, is my grenade, because I like to be able to switch the grenades, throw in real quick, and then switch back to my weapons. Other than that, I really didn't touch the keybinds very much. I feel like they're pretty intuitive as they are, and that's kind of what I went with. So that's my recommendation, but I do recommend you experiment, find something you're more comfortable with, especially for melee, so you can throw those in as fast as possible when you absolutely need to. So say you hit 75% of a clip on a guy and you know he's one shot, but you run out of ammo, you don't have time to reload, otherwise he's gonna kill you, so you gotta punch him. It's a lot easier to just spam hit F or spam hit your mouse button than it is to reach down and hit V, unless you're really used to it. Like if you've got crazy good muscle memory because you played a lot of other games and you never changed the melee key from V, then by all means keep it. But that's my recommendation. This whole video is kind of like my recommendations on how you get better, how I got better and stuff like that. And keybinds also, again, help with every other game, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and Fortnite, especially Fortnite. My Fortnite keys were insane. I had like 2 was my first one, F was my second gun, 3 was a heal, C was my 4th, Z was my last slot, building was like Q, and then my mouse. But it was weird. It was weird, but it worked for me. Always look at your keybinds if you're aiming to get better at any type of shooter, any type of game, really. So that's the second tip. The third tip, this is the one that involves gameplay. Hot drop. Hot drop. I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me, hey, how do I get better? I always panic when I get in a fight. I always freak out or get scared, and I can't aim properly because there's so much adrenaline, or I'm so nervous. How do I get over that? The best way to get over that, and this goes along with just getting better in general, is to hot drop. Drop in somewhere where you know there's going to be a lot of people and force yourself into those situations. You're going to learn. You're going to look back. Every time you die, you look back and figure out what could you have done differently to help either elongate your life so your teammate could get to you, or even win the fight, or just get out of there and escape. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot about movement. You're going to learn a lot about quick aiming and snapshotting that way. You're going to learn a lot about looting quickly and making your ammo go as far as possible when you have very little. So hot drops are definitely the way to go when you really want to get better. Also, it's going to callous you, I guess. You're going to get into more gunfights more often with a bigger variety of weapons that you're forced to use, rather than being able to search and search and search for your favorite gun. And once you're in those positions and you notice you're not freaking out as much, you're not panicking as much, or you're hitting more shots at least in those situations and getting kills and living more often, then I recommend you going wherever you want, looting up, and going for the win. But at the start, what you want to do is you want to do that just so you can get used to it and you can learn how to survive in bad situations, so that when the situation's good, you're guaranteed to know what to do, you're guaranteed to make the right call, and you'll be able to win a lot more that way. So those are my best tips, I guess, for just about any PC game, any BR really, but primarily for Apex right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, if you have any questions, or if you want to ask like, hey, I'm having an issue with my aim on this, what do you recommend? You can ask that down in the comments down below. Oh yeah, one more thing, bonus tip: if you're looking to practice your aim off game, like if you're at work and you got nothing to do and you're able to do whatever you want on the computer, or if you're somewhere that the game isn't accessible, like a family member's house, or you're just out of town and you have a laptop that can't run the game or whatnot, I recommend lowering your system sensitivity in Windows as low as you can. If you can't really mess with DPIs on the mouse you're using, lower sensitivity to where it's at least close to what you normally play on, or what your sensitivity is in game, and then going to aimbooster.com. And what Aim Booster is, it's got a bunch of different little mini games where you're just clicking on targets, and you can customize them and change them to like different timings, different sizes and stuff like that. And I recommend using I think it's called the double shot challenge, and then use the sniping challenge. You can kind of modify the targets. You don't want them too big because otherwise it's too easy at that point, but decent size at least, because yeah, you want to aim for headshots, but ultimately if you're just learning, you want to get them body shots down first. So I recommend using these two challenges because they help a lot. Especially the sniping one has helped me a lot with wingman accuracy. So if you're looking to become a wingman master overnight, do a lot of this sniping challenge on Aim Booster. It helped me out a lot. So anyway, that's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said before, comments, blah, 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 blah. Gonna have the Twitch highlights video up hopefully sometime this weekend as well. And I also have another video I'm going to, possibly a series, I'm going to be working on that I think is going to be a lot of fun. But more on that later. I'm Saint, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.